Good evening, class. Today I will be talking about human trafficking as it occurs in the United States. The purpose of this speech is to inform you of human trafficking in the United States. I want you to learn what human trafficking is, how it happens, and what it looks like. Girls lined up in a poorly lit room, heads bowed, eyes lifeless, stripped of their names. Instead, pinned on their red dresses are big, bold numbers in black. Their identity is now nothing but a number. One girl out of the line looks up. She is unlike the rest. There is life still in her eyes. She still has fight left in her. Her number was 146. Human trafficking is more prevalent in the United States than you may think. People think human trafficking only happens in other countries or overseas, when in reality it happens just as much in the United States than anywhere else. I have been volunteering and spreading awareness about this topic for the last 8 years with 2 anti-trafficking organizations. One of them is known as Love 146. The other is known as the International Justice Mission. I have gone to many conferences to raise awareness as well as money for these issues. Again, today I will inform you on what human trafficking is, how it happens, and what it looks like in the United States. First, what is human trafficking? The Department of Justice defines human trafficking as a crime involving compelling or converting a person to provide labor or services or engage in commercial sex acts. There are a couple of different types of human trafficking. You have sex trafficking, labor trafficking, and drug trafficking. All of these are non-discriminatory, meaning that the traffickers or the predators who recruit these individuals and coerce these individuals, they do not care whether they are female or male. They do not care about age. They do not care about ethnicity, nor culture, nor race, nor religion. They do not discriminate. Everybody is vulnerable to be a victim. How does it happen? Force, fraud, and coercion are the main 3 things that come to how people are trafficked. Social media plays a part, scams, and of course money. Social media, they promise some young girls on Instagram. Often they have scams of modeling agencies that they will reach out to these young girls and tell them that they have a modeling opportunity, and once they meet, the girls will be trafficked into sex or labor, and now they are stuck. Also, they promise people with better money. Usually they go for individuals who are poverty-stricken or low income, and they do not have the best situation for the household. They will promise these individuals steady jobs, higher income, better future for their family. They will even promise visas, temporary visas. They will promise that their family will one day be able to come join them in the United States or where have you. They also have to have a way to keep control of the victims that they traffic once they have actually trafficked them. This can be done by taking away their passport, threats of violence, threats of deportation, or etc. Many times, once they have the individuals where they want them, they will take away their visas or their passports if they had needed them. They will threaten to hurt their family and their loved ones or to take away their money. They also use physical abuse as well as verbal threats. What does it look like? Labor, sex, drugs, children. On the top left, you have children doing labor. These kids were most likely trafficked to do the labor where the companies that are involved in the trafficking, they do not have to pay a large amount of money. I know we were talking about the US, but if you remember anything or have heard anything about the diamonds in Africa, the blood diamonds or the quartz, usually all those diamonds that you see in the store, they have come from children who are in the mines and get paid next to nothing to do this work. Children get trafficked a lot. Children as young as 4 years old have been taken and sold into the sex trade, as sad as that is. Drugs. Drug trafficking is big. They will get kids to do their bidding, adults, anyone they can. In the top left, on the bottom hand side, that's red light secret. That is a brothel. You will also see porn companies. Porn companies, more often than not, they have some minors or some who are not minors who are forced to do it, and they pay them next to nothing for this porn industry because they get a lot of billions of dollars from the industry. I want to talk about Global Horizons. They had a lawsuit filed against them. This was one of the biggest agricultural human trafficking lawsuits in agriculture ever. So from 2003 to 2007, 200 Thai male victims were trafficked to farms in Hawaii and Washington state. They were promised high-paying jobs in agriculture, they were promised steady income, and they came with temporary visas. Once they were over to Hawaii and Washington state, their visas, their passports were confiscated. They endured severe abuse. They were also threatened with deportation every day because they were here on temporary visas. The living conditions were less than fair. They lived with rats and insects. Their homes were dirty. Their toiletries were unsanitary, and sometimes they even lived with dozens of men in the same room. This was all from the years of 2003 to 2007. You also have to be mindful of sex trafficking. The example that I read in the beginning about the girl with 146 on her dress, she was sold into the sex slave trade when she was 12 years old. Rob Morris is the co-founder of the anti-trafficking organization Love 146, and that was his own story. He and some friends, they joined this mission to go save some girls, and they went to a brothel, and that is exactly what he saw, and he said it was the most heartbreaking thing he has ever seen. In conclusion, this speech just tells you about the tip of the iceberg of this global issue. You have been informed on what trafficking is, how it happens, and what it looks like around us. I informed you of how it occurs in the United States. This is also how it occurs across the world. This is just a glimpse into the worldwide issue. Now that you have learned just a little bit, what is your response? How does this make you feel? If this speech has rattled you to your core, then I am glad. If you are filled with anger and disgust, then I am also glad. Use those feelings to help make a change and be a voice on this issue. Use it to do more research, to motivate you to put an end and be part of the cause of ending this issue. Jane Goodall is a world-renowned primatologist. She is famous for her study of chimpanzees. She once said, "What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make." I hope that this little information on this little TED Talk of human trafficking has really opened your eyes and has given you a better perception on the world around us. Here are my sources. Thank you.